And you got to recognize, black people, that you cannot lead a revolution with alligator shoes on. Show me one revolution in history that was led by somebody who wore a three-piece suit. I'm not saying you can't get dressed up to do your formal lecture. But when that is your everyday dress code, you understand, you are used to a certain lifestyle that you are not willing to sacrifice for me. Because many of you got in the leadership game to get rich, because in case you don't know, black leadership is one of the top selling traded industries on Wall Street. You just don't see it up there. You can get rich being a black leader. Did you know that? Come up with a certain spill, a little bit of charisma, a good articulation, and you can make billions. And you can make billions. Now, Obama is a good example of how the black aristocracy keeps the politically ignorant masses in check. I didn't say they were intellectually ignorant. I said they were politically ignorant. Are you with me? Politically ignorant. When we speak of political ignorance, we're saying that they don't understand or overstand the way the American social order works. The politically ignorant masses don't realize that America, okay, is controlled by private economic forces. They don't realize that the Federal Reserve Bank is a conglomerate of 13 Jewish German-owned banks. It's not a United States corporation. They don't understand that. They don't understand that. And they believe that you actually choose a president anyway by vote, which you do not do. The United States Constitution has never said that the people choose the president. It was never meant to be that way, because America was designed to be an aristocratic society, not a democracy. And that's why when your children pledge allegiance, for those of you who are ridiculous enough to allow them to, they pledge to the republic, not to a democracy. Not to a democracy. It's not true government, it's representative government. You think you elect and you choose it, but how you choose it when he's controlled by the Republicans and I'm controlled by the Negrocrats, no matter which one you choose, you still get the same game plan. Are you with me? So whether it was Obama or McCain, whether it was John Street or Michael Nutter or John Street's brother, you're going to get the same plan. Why? Because the average black elected official, before they run for office, the first thing they want to do is get approval by one of the parties. Did you hear that? They don't run independently. They want approval. I want to run on a Democratic ticket. Why don't you just run independent? Nah. I want to run them for the Republican. Why not just run independent? That way you ain't beholden to nobody. Nah, I need that money. I need that support. But when you do that, you sell yourself and your community down the river. You're handcuffed the entire time you're in office. It's the same thing for the mega churches. The minute they begin to take that FBI money, because the pastors and the imams are the new FBI, faith-based initiative, FBI. And ever since George Bush started giving them money, giving the churches money, that's the worst thing that could have happened to the black community. Because now they are accepting of all types of behaviors. That's right. Before they stood up against certain things, and now they don't stand up against it, whether it's homosexuality, police brutality, they are awfully quiet. Why? Because the black aristocracy, the untalented 10th, lives on certain rules. What is the one rule? We must evade accountability to our community at all costs. Please understand what I'm saying when I say that. We must evade accountability to our community at all costs. When you see an aristocrat talk about the problems of the black community, you will always see that at the end of the day, they lay the blame at your feet. Are y'all with me? When I was riding down here today, I got a text message. One of my brothers in Baltimore. He said, Brother Umar, I'm listening to Word 900 right now at the convention center. They're having a panel discussion on the cultural, historical effects of slavery or something like that, and I expected to hear your voice. Why wasn't you invited? So I had to explain to him that that was an untalented 10th event. That's not a slight on the people who participated. It's a slight on the organizers. There's no way in hell, and I'm not being arrogant, but I know my place. And there's no way in hell you can come to Philadelphia and talk psychology or education and you ain't talking to me. It don't matter what event or who holding it. Okay? Because there's few psychologists in the city or educators who are going to give you the real deal. For example, I'm the first person who told most people in this city or in this country that special education is a business. And they put kids in it to get the extra $7,000. No black educator put that out. No black psychologist put that out because they're eating off of that money. So I told them the reason I wasn't allowed to be there or invited to be there because I'm going to say certain things that are outside of the script, which is number 2. They follow a script. And before you seek entry into the aristocracy, you have to be willing to follow that script. So when Tavis Smiley does his town hall meeting, are y'all with me? He'll bring in Dyson, and he'll bring in, them brothers can kick it, but they never kick the real issues. They sound revolutionary if you're not a revolutionary. Are y'all with me? They sound revolutionary if you're not a revolutionary. But for those of you in this room, that stuff they talking ain't nothing but neo-integrationism. What else do you never hear out of the mouth of a talented 10 person? Do for self. You never hear do for self. As I heard Cornel West say, who I believe is dating a white woman if he didn't marry her yet. He said that we are supposed to be the conscience of America. Black people. And particularly the talented 10. How in the hell can you be the conscience of America when you ain't even been the conscience of your own community? But they're not interested in the black community. They can't stand you. Did you hear that? There's nothing more despicable for an elitist Negro to look at than one of his own kind. Because he's trying to get away from you as far as he can. He comes in. He exploits you for your vote. He exploits you for your money. He exploits you for your love of Jesus and Muhammad. And then after that, he's back home in the suburbs. Which is number 3. They don't live with you. Did you hear that? Yeah. That's right. Do you know that most of your Afrocentric scholars live in white neighborhoods? Do you know most of them teach at white universities? Do you know that most of their kids went to white private schools? That's right.
And marry white women.
And marry white women. They don't live with you. They don't want to be nowhere near you. The only ones who live with you are the elected officials because they're required to be in the locale from where they got elected. But if you look at where the house is, it's on the white Hispanic side of town, not yours. So as I wrap this up, every time you read a newspaper article, every time you listen to the radio, every time you see a TV show and there's some Negro talking, the first thing you got to do in your mind is decide whether or not this is a grassroots discussion, a grassroots show, a grassroots article, or whether it's some bourgeois nonsense. Are y'all with me?